So I'm fully aware that Comic-Con was like a week ago, and I didn't cover this when it came out, and YouTube is a time race where you have to get out your video before everybody else in order for it to get views or whatever. But I really wanted to cover the Glass trailer, so that's what I'm doing. I'm covering the Glass trailer. Glass is the official sequel to Split, following up after the events of both Unbreakable and Split, and I'm very excited to be talking about this because Unbreakable is one of my favorite films of all time, along with Split being somewhere in the top 20. It's an amazing film, and I highly recommend both films, and I'm going to be going over both of them now and going into why I think Glass is going to be, bold proclamation here, the best movie of 2019, coming out in January, starting off with a home run for the January release movie season. And Glass takes place a year or two after the events of Split. And at the end of Split, we see James McAvoy's Beast character run off into the wild, meaning that he's still out there and ready for his next adventure. We then fade to black, coming back up in a diner where we see Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, sitting there responding with answers to Unbreakable's questions 20 years ago. And it's quite an unreal thought that we have a sequel to Unbreakable. 2019 is a stacked year for movies, including the untitled fourth Avengers film, Shazam, Captain Marvel, Toy Story 4, Godzilla King of Monsters, Star Wars Episode 9, Wonder Woman 1984, the next Spider-Man, the Lego Movie 2, Dumbo, Frozen 2, Hellboy, the Lion King animated, Dark Phoenix, hopefully a Gambit movie, another Terminator movie, as well as an Aladdin live-action movie, a Suicide Squad 2, and a bunch of others. But why do I think Glass is going to top all of those films with no problem? And this is just simply the fact that Glass looks like a well-produced film by M. Night Shyamalan, who directed both of the previous films. Nobody's trying to do setting up a universe way back when and give you the touch on it now. The actors alone in this film are enough to draw and put butts in seats. Trust me, Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis can carry a movie on their own, as well as James McAvoy, who I know best for playing Professor X. Unbreakable was a superhero film that was a superhero film but also wasn't a superhero film. It did a good job of being a film as well as having the title of superhero later placed onto it, as it was indeed a superhero film. Now, the trailer alone shows off a lot of interesting characters and a lot of interesting beats. I am most looking forward to the interactions between James McAvoy and Mr. Glass, as I expect those to be well entertaining and well character pieces for each individual character. Given that there are over 24 characters within James McAvoy, I am in the firm belief that there will be some of the most unique and dynamic character pieces just between the two characters. Not to mention that Bruce Willis seems like a bittered and a grizzled superhero. Think Dark Knight Returns. And this character then has to come in and be the hero of this film by defeating both the villains, but also conflicting with, I'm assuming, some of his own personal problems that he's had many years since after Unbreakable. You have to think that the overall concept of Unbreakable, he was a family man and he was trying to put his family first, but was being forced into situations where he had to be a hero. What a dynamic character. It looks like a lot's happened since then, and I look forward to seeing where that character's been in such a long period of time. The psychiatrist somehow captured 3 of the most potentially deadly individuals this entire Earth, and she has them all in a group therapy session. The inclusion of these therapy sessions, I believe, will allow you to tell the backstory of Unbreakable and the backstory of Split, allowing all the beats of those movies to continue to be in the background while this new story is built on top of them. It's also a good launching pad for people who've never seen those series. You have a character that knows all of these events, and there's not just allusions back to them, but it can also continue to tell the story and do a quick recap towards the beginning of the film, so you're not going towards the end of the film being like, I wonder what that character's motives are, I wonder what those other films are like. This has just so much potential within it. The character of Mr. Glass alone in the original Unbreakable, I thought, was such a compelling and interesting character that just wanted to find out another human being in the world similar to him. And he realizes his place in the world and realizes he's not a hero, he's the villain of the story. Which I know what I just did. I just sent your mind into an explosion mode. But that's what he does. He's such an interesting character. Not to mention him trying to figure out about David Dunn, or Bruce Willis's character, and trying to figure out why they are connected and why they are interchangeable and why they are destined to be together. And I just think that it's such an interesting character piece from then, and then us moving forward with that and seeing more of that. While the villains team up, he then has to conquer both villains, the mind and the brawn, both put together into one interesting dynamic. Now, I'm expecting there to maybe be some betrayal in that scenario, but that's just speculation. I don't know that. Glass has the potential to be one of the greatest movies, and I am so faithful in the director, M. Night Shyamalan, to continue his vision of this series and continue to progress forward in the Unbreakable franchise. And that's it. That's all. Covering the Glass trailer, as well as why I think Glass is going to be one of the greatest films of 2019, and possibly ever. But, of course, we both know how that's going to work, as I've predicted this in the past. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to click on the like button. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. It's the best way to, support me and stuff. It's going to be Daktron, myself, signing out. Until next time.